First, understanding of the security challenges, the capacities of our security are grateful. We are also honored by the presence of the international community at the opening ceremony, as this underpins the reality that the boundaries between a national, regional, and global security are now becoming increasingly thin. May I, on behalf of my distinguished colleagues on the ad hoc committee or review of the current security infrastructure and in Nigeria, welcome you all to this historic summit and wish you all productive deliberations.
The sharp increase in murderous violence over and above the relatively manageable level of insecurity that has plagued our country for some time jolted us out of any large vestiges of complacency or denial. There can be no denying the horrible reality in many parts of our country today. People who should be neighbors are turning on one another and taking up arms. These attacks and reprisal attacks are an intolerable cycle of hell that must be broken. Killings, kidnappings, mayhem, and general lawlessness cannot be the new norm. We must take this country back and restore order. To this end, the summit brings together a wide spectrum of stakeholders, including political leaders, security policy makers, governors who are chief security officers in their states, security and intelligence chiefs, key persons in the nation's security architecture, region and social and cultural groups, traditional rulers, civil society organizations, and others with strong persuasive insight into the problem. It was emphasized that the summit will provide a platform for critically examine the problem of insecurity, to help collate views and ideas in aid of search for solutions. It is most reassuring to see us all here, people together, coming together to come up with a national response to a grave problem confronting our nation. To the executive, I say this: you cannot do it alone, and that is why we're all here, to join efforts. It's all hands on deck. No one person, organization, or arm of government can single-handedly drive the hydra-headed monster of insecurity. The Constitution makes it clear that the safety of lives and properties of citizens is a responsibility of government. We in government must therefore do everything in our power to ensure that Nigerians are safe from harm and their livelihoods and belongings protected.
This very important security summit is an important part of the ongoing engagements with stakeholders on the security concerns of our nation. And I'm extremely pleased and support fully Mr. Senate President where he said that the challenges of our security infrastructure are the concern of all of us, not just those of us in government, but all of us who are concerned about the peace and harmony of our nation. Your Excellency, distinguished members of the National Assembly, Nigeria entered into the new year on a tragic and bloody note. More than 70 persons, 73 is the figure we have, were murdered in Benue State by persons who were suspected to be herdsmen. To the north, in southern Kaduna State, a traditional ruler and his pregnant wife were murdered in their home. Down south in Rivers, a cult murdered more than 20 innocent persons returning from a church vigil. On the 3rd of January, 14 worshippers were killed in a mosque at Gamboru. On the 17th of January, a suicide bombing attack took place in Maiduguri, claiming 10 lives. These incidents immediately serve as a reminder that there is no room for complacency in the task of securing Nigeria. Even against the backdrop of remarkable progress that we've recorded in the most critical of our security challenges at the time, the fight against Boko Haram. Indeed, Boko Haram is perhaps a good starting point for a conversation about security in Nigeria as we go on to the more current and contemporary concerns we have. How a small band of religious proselytizers evolved into the biggest threat to the sovereignty of Nigeria in 5 decades is a question that has occupied and perhaps even defied researchers and law enforcement agencies for years. In 2015, when the Buhari administration took office, much of northern eastern Nigeria lay beneath the palpable shadow of the terrorist group. In the 2.5 years since then, our military has done a remarkable job reclaiming Nigerian territory, rescuing tens of thousands of civilians, and routing Boko Haram. Today, the group is a shadow of itself, forced to resort to cowardly suicide bombings and other attacks on soft targets in a desperate bid at attention-seeking. But we must say on behalf of the security agencies that they have been deliberate and determined in their responses. For obvious reasons, we have since, assuming office, prioritized the anti-terrorism campaign in the Northeast. Understandably, as Boko Haram has receded in public consciousness, in 2017, the Global Terrorism Index reported that deaths from terrorism dropped 80% in Nigeria, especially in the year 2016, the biggest decrease worldwide. Other security challenges, of course, have shuffled forward to take the place of the Boko Haram threat. This does not mean that these challenges are newly emergent. What is new is our approach and our determination to contain these threats and protect the lives and property of all Nigerians.